also brings several risks and downsides. And as Kiranji beautifully mentioned, harassment and cyberbullying, 40% of online social media users have faced virtual harassment. Addiction is another big problem. Just like various kinds of drugs, there is a tendency seen especially amongst youth to be addicted to the smartphones, to be addicted to social media. And since I am a student of Bhagavad Gita, I teach Bhagavad Gita. When I read shlokas from the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita describing about samadhi, and when I see children dealing with smartphone, I can see they have gone into samadhi. So therefore, addiction is something which we need to deal with. Physical health effects, eye strain, next. Poor posture, sleep problems, next. Next. Yeah. Reduced physical activity, these are issues which all of us know do happen. Next. $117 billion is spent annually on inactivity-related healthcare help in the United States. 112% increased risk of developing diabetes from a lack of physical activity. 1.5 times increased likelihood of suffering stroke due to not having sufficient activity. 5.3 million deaths happen every year as a result of sedentary lifestyle, and almost 13 hours daily is spent on an average sitting because of this changing lifestyle. Next. The change of social skills. People spend more time with gadgets. When you touch on your screen or you touch any button on the gadget responds. So one gets used to the fact that when I intend to change, the change happens instantly on a gadget. But when I'm dealing with my family member, with my husband, with my wife, with my brother, with my son, I touch and I intend change, it does not happen. So gradually people feel it is easier to deal with gadgets than to deal with other people. And therefore people are meant to be loved, gadgets are meant to be used, but we end up using people and loving gadgets. And that is some of the biggest challenges which we are experiencing. Next, psychological effects. Some of the psychological effects including feelings of loneliness. Gradually relationships are going apart because people would rather spend more time with the Wi-Fi than with any other member of the family. And so we find that across the world, due to this culture, the divorce rates are increasing. Luxembourg has a divorce rate of 88%. Spain has a divorce rate of 65%. France has a divorce rate of 51%. Russia has a divorce rate of 51%. America has a divorce rate of 46%. The global divorce rate is 44%. But thanks to Sanatan Dharma, India has the lowest divorce rate in the world at 1%. I was giving a talk in a college in one country, and after the talk, I was talking to one student who was talking to me in Hindi. So this was an English-speaking country, but he was talking to me in Hindi, and I was shocked, and I said, "How do you know Hindi?" He said, "Well, I grew up in a multimillionaire family. When I was 17 years old, I asked my dad, 'You gave me everything in life, big cars, big house, everything, except the joy of experiencing what is family life. I want to experience what is family life, the joy of sitting with brothers and sisters and exchanging love.'" His father said, "Well, I'm too old to give you that experience, but if there is one country in the world where you can still experience what is family, that is India. Please go there." And he came to one of the cities in India, and then he approached one family and said, "Please allow me to stay in your house as a paying guest to experience what is the warmth and love of a family. And if you allow me to stay as a paying guest and experience what is family life, every month I'll give you a rent of 1 lakh rupees. That family said, "Why only 1 year? Stay whole life." And they said, "If you have other friends who want to experience, call them also." So many times we think that, the success of a nation is only on the basis of GDP. India has 17% of the world's, population, whereas we have only 2.2% of the world's GDP and trade, and 0.7% of the world tourists. So in one sense, if we look at how our country is positioned today, the potential is tremendous. And especially Goldman Sachs came up with a report that between 2015 to 2025, the total infrastructure investment required for India would be approximately $1.3 trillion. And from where majority of that funding was going to come? $800 billion would come from family investments, family savings. And therefore the word family may not be taught in our MBA schools, may not be analyzed in economic forums, but then it has a major role to play. And what drives family? It is culture. What drives family is the affection and the relationships. And as we are moving into the digital age, we have to make sure that our existing institutions are not affected. In fact, they are enhanced. And therefore, next, where does Sanatan Dharma make a difference? Sanatan Dharma, next, as per the Bhagavad Gita, Mukta Sango Anahamvadi Dhriti Utsaha Samanvita Siddhya Siddhyo Nirvikara Karta Satvika Uchyate. What Bhagavad Gita teaches is one must work, but with detachment. One must work with humility. One must work with determination. One must work with enthusiasm. And one must work with equanimity. These are the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. And let us understand one thing, that the word education in Sanskrit has two words. Learning and education in Sanskrit is called shiksha. It is also called vidya. Vidya comes from vid, to know, which is the information component. But shiksha comes from the Sanskrit word shas, which means to control, to rule, which means to discipline. So the Sanatan Dharma learning concept was always connected not just to information gathering, but also disciplining oneself. And that discipline is a very important element. Next. And so we have to understand that as we are spreading message, next, the Kurukshetra is about content creation and its dissemination. Next. We find that people are having short attention spans. Next. And the information flow in the social media is way faster than in Wikipedia. Search for update knowledge. Next. Google, blogs, newspaper articles, etc. Go ahead. So I'm just specifically going to focus on how, if we do not give attention to our social media strategy, especially where information about Sanatan Dharma is seen and read by people, it can create a lot of trouble. So, question is Wikipedia biased? Next. So, Wikipedia has definitely, it's a repository knowledge created most by male editors from affluent countries. Next. And practically, global languages have very little representation on Wikipedia. So the question is, are Bharatiya views and languages appropriately reflected? Next. So, is open community really representative of all communities' views? Next. So, if we look at this, what are some of the reasons for Wikipedia's popularity? First is, it gives you preliminary insight. If you want to know about any subject, first thing you search in Wikipedia. Next. And for those who are not academic background, Wikipedia is accepted as totally authentic. Next. As far as reliability perception is concerned, it is considered very high. If something is on Wikipedia, we think it must be true. Next. Also, information on this has a longer shelf life. And then, the categorization is tremendous. And you can also retrieve information with great dependence. So, trying to understand the wiki concept is, there is creation of content, there is editing by a whole global group of volunteers, yes, and there is the history of who is doing the edits, which is maintained, which you can track, and everybody is given an opportunity, and as the improvement happens, next, the references are quoted, And then the quoting of references is very important aspect of Wikipedia. And because so many references are quoted, the last, which is right below, is neutrality. It is considered to be extremely neutral. Next. But here is where the problem is. So this is an example of how the Wikipedia quotes are arranged. Next. Now I will come to the main point, which is the misuse in Wikipedia. The power of the vested interests, if they come into the picture as form of those who are going to make the edits, they can create and make changes and influence the information if it is not properly monitored. So there can be subtle, next, yeah. So there can be subtle political twists which can be done in very clandestine ways if you are dealing with a subject which is not understood by those who are subject experts. Next. And then those views are reflected in the article influencing potential leaders. Next. An example. Okay, just see this example. Controversy erupted amongst, this is from Wikipedia. Controversy erupted amongst the Brahmins of Shivaji's court. They refused to crown Shivaji as a king because that status was reserved for those of the Kshatriya Varna in Hindu society. Shivaji descended from a line of headmen of farming villages, and the Brahmins accordingly categorized him as being of the Shudra Varna. So this is Wikipedia. So what is it trying to do? Misrepresenting Varnashrama. Next. So therefore we see that when it comes to topics related to religion, philosophy, chronology, there is a tight control. So if any of you try to make changes thinking that, no, this is not the right Hindu perspective, we must make changes, you try. But there is a huge army of people waiting who will not allow those edits to happen, which, as they say, subtle twists in the content can influence mass mindset. And therefore, anybody can edit is a myth. So that's an important point. And there are vested interests of a group of people who are reverting those edits. So therefore, next, there are distorted versions of Indian traditions and culture. If you go on pages in Wikipedia on Sanatan Dharma, Indian history, Hindu literature, sampradayas, darshans, right, and professional groups and pairs monitoring these pages, and this is very important. Go ahead. Therefore,